statesman whose decisions changed the course of history and affected the fate of all mankind, the last General Secretary of the CPSU Central Committee and the only President of the USSR, died in Moscow at the age of 92. After long illness, condolences are sent to Mikhail Gorbachev's family and friends. From all corners of the world, he died more for the peaceful end of the Cold War than anyone else, said UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Russian President Vladimir Putin highlighted Mikhail Gorbachev's humanitarian, philanthropic, and educational activities in the last years of his life. He is very diverse person. We often try to hear him down here. Gorbachev in Russia did one thing, the Soviet Union collapsed, and on the world stage it's good there. In fact, Gorbachev is a very whole person and he behaved essentially the same way out of universal values. He is called a prophet for a reason. He came to power in 1985 and immediately enriched the vocabulary of a Soviet person. The term perestroika, new in those years, has remained from many a symbol of the Gorbachev era. The state needed change, the economy needed a new round, the global situation was also changing. The treaty between the USSR and US on the elimination of mid-range and shorter-range missiles bears the signature of Ronald Reagan and Mikhail Gorbachev. Suzanne Messé, an advisor to the American president at the time, recalled that time.
Everyone remembers Reagan during the negotiations on mid-range missiles reductions, saying in Russian your famous proverb, "Trust but verify." I taught him that I, more than anyone else in the US at that time, understood Russian people, and I always said that we could learn a lot from each other, but only if we establish a dialogue.
Then the fall of Berlin Wall in November 89, the end of the Cold War, the unification of Germany. This man has indeed made the crucial contribution to making such process possible. We are therefore very indebted and grateful to him. If it had not been for the reaction of Soviet Union, it would hardly have been possible to talk about the unification of Germany. Gorbachev has become a symbol of a new, better life, not only the West, especially in the European states of the former socialist camp, but also in other countries. Leadership of Soviet Union and Russia, including President Gorbachev, were first among equals in international solidarity with the people of South Africa. We are convinced that the USSR has done a lot for the peoples of South Africa. Many have benefited from this generosity. After his retirement, he remained in Russia. He is a full life. Occasionally traveling to other countries to give lectures, he continued to keep in touch with many of those with whom he had worked together, and they communicated with him, and not just in person, to mark Mikhail Gorbachev's 19th birthday. An international conference called "The Man Who Changed the World" has held in Moscow.
I just want you to know how much I am grateful to you for the role you played in ending the Cold War. Russia acted as a partner for Europe. You talked about a common European home. You did a lot to initiate liberalization in the Soviet Union. You paid attention to building relations with Western countries.
In recent years, he had rarely appeared in public, but has been active in humanitarian work. After his retirement, he created the International Foundation of Socio-Economic and Political Studies, as well as the environment organizations Green Cross. Dozens of books have been written about Mikhail Gorbachev during his lifetime. But experts say it is too early to make a definitive assessment of his role in world history. The world is unity, not in similarities, but in diversity, said Mikhail Gorbachev when he received the Nobel Prize, and he put this principle into practice. Following the path of reforms and negotiations, he was unlike his predecessors or those who became to power after his. Persona is one of the most studied by the historians of the planet, and yet, at the same time, still unexplored. The first and only president of USSR will be buried in Moscow next to his wife. The funeral ceremony will take place on Saturday, 3 September. Alexei Pamenov, Dmitry Golvoko, TV BRICS with JANHITTIMES.